It's time to focus on seniors with Helping Seniors TV. The television show designed to make you aware of senior issues and needs, as well as to acquaint you with the resources available to help you age in place and with dignity. Now, here's your host, Joe Steckler.
I'm Joe Steckler, and welcome to Helping Seniors, the television arm of Helping Seniors of Brevard County. Our show is designed to provide you with information on how to develop your own aging and care plans. Our topic today is the Aging Advocacy Council of Helping Seniors. And joining me is Lance Jarvis, Elder Advocate, and Beth Courtney, Financial Advisor from the Courtney and Braswell Financial Team. And she's also a board member of Helping Seniors of Brevard County. Welcome, Lance.
Thank you, Joe. It's great to be here.
Welcome, Beth.
Thank you, Joe.
Yeah. I won't say what I was going to give. I was getting my two panels before the show, but I'll be nice. I won't mention it again. But, you know, if you can't have fun doing whatever you do in life, I frankly don't think there's a whole lot of reason for doing it.
I'll have to agree with that.
Yeah. I've actually had 3 careers. This is my 3rd career. And I've enjoyed everything I do. And one of the reasons I enjoy it is because of the people I get to work with, the people that have supported me. And I like to go back and think about a military career where some of these guys walk around with 35 and 40 medals and ribbons across their chest and everything. Very few of them got any of those all by themselves. It always takes a team effort to do whatever we do. And that's one of the biggest things I think we've been able to put together with the Advocacy Council. And that's what we're going to talk about today. But first, before we even talk about the Aging Advocacy Council and what we've done, I would like for you, Lance, and you, Beth, to give a little bit of your background so that people can understand the expertise and that the people that are behind the scenes trying to put some of these papers together so that we can convince the commissioners that there is a need for an aging plan in Brevard County. First, Lance, how about your background?
I've worked with seniors extensively through my volunteer work with SHINE. SHINE, which stands for Serving Health Insurance Needs of Elders. Although I'm not here today representing SHINE, merely making the point that I have worked with elders for a number of years. In addition, some years back, I was on the board of directors for the Freedom 7 Senior Center in Cocoa Beach and had an opportunity to interact with many seniors, right, and listen to their concerns, their joys, their problems, as I do now with my work with SHINE. So I have a very significant amount of interactions with seniors, although I must also add, I am one.
Yeah, well, I'll also point out that in 1996, you were the co-chair of the United Way survey that was done over a 3-day period where we had several, maybe over 100 people that participated in a 3-day session to determine what the needs were for Brevard County. We came up with 17 major needs. 12 of those needs addressed senior citizens, and you were the vice chair of that effort.
Yes.
So I think that your experience goes all the way back to 1996 and comes forward to 2016. Yeah. So that's quite a bit of experience.
No, it's been a joy.
Yeah. Beth, you're a financial advisor. And what made you, other than the fact I asked you, what made you really willing to join the board of Helping Seniors and then participate to the extent that you have in the Advocacy Council? Why do you think this is so important?
Well, of course it is because you asked me, Joe. But also, Lance just triggered a memory, which is that when I was, I think, 12, I was a candy striper in a nursing home. And that was actually a seed plant for me to start recognizing what seniors were going through, the problems that they faced and the needs that they had. So that probably was a seed plant back then. As a financial advisor, especially in this particular geographical area, a significant portion of my clients are seniors. So I'm very well aware of their issues, whether they are financially strong or not. I'm a caregiver for my own parents, my mom and stepdad. So I'm keenly aware of the health struggles and that kind of thing that they face. So probably just the combination of all my experiences, witnessing what seniors go through, it was just very natural when you asked me to do that.
Well, that sort of leads to the next question I had, and that was the importance of our viewers understanding how very important it is for people of all age groups to understand the current and what I will call emerging needs of seniors, because knowledge of what seniors need / want is not something that just happens. It just doesn't magically appear on the table. You have to work to develop programs behind the scenes to figure out what people need. And one of the biggest concerns I've had, I've been working with the seniors programs now since 1993 in Brevard County. That's almost 20 years. And this is 20 years?
23.
Yeah, more than 20. Yeah. And it's bothered me more, as I explained to the Aging Council, that Brevard County does not have an aging plan. And how in the world do you begin to plan for 255,000 roughly seniors, if you use the AARP definition of a senior, 55 and older? Half of Brevard County are senior citizens. And they're the second largest contributor to the financial resources that the county has to pave roads and to do other things. So I think that the work of the Advocacy Council is something we've started and needs to continue. Can both of you talk a little bit about that? Maybe Lance?
Well, the Advocacy Council, I think, serves a very important role as a sounding board and as a source of ideas for the challenges and problems that seniors face. The Advocacy Council consists of people with many different backgrounds who approach the senior challenge problem from many different directions. Mine happens to be I'm most familiar with the health insurance and the medical care issues that face seniors, and the challenges that face them in getting those services when transportation options are so limited in our county, and some people just can't get to the doctor. They have no friends that drive. Their children may live out of town. They can't afford a taxi. So access is often an issue, in addition to understanding the medical insurance benefits that they actually have and what options they have to get medical insurance. So, but others approach the problem, others on the Advocacy Council come from a somewhat different background, and they see different challenges than I do. Although when people call Shine for assistance with medical problems, we often become aware that there are other challenges facing that individual. Some people feel very isolated. They have no family here. Some are unable to leave their homes because of disabilities. They just can't get around. Others are concerned about what will happen to them in the future because they want to age in place. But many of them can't afford to have their housing fixed. There are repairs needed to keep the home safe and livable. Well, some people just can't afford that.
I understand.
We have a substantial percentage of our county that lives at less than 150% of the federal poverty level. But in addition, we become aware of the challenge that some people have of just financially. They're not quite sure how they're going to make it.
Yeah, we're going to let her talk about that.
Yeah, Beth, that's Beth's specialty. And she hears that a lot more than I do. But the challenges are numerous. They're challenges that many of us, before we became involved with working with seniors, were simply unaware of.
That's exactly right. Beth, Lance is sort of led into your topic, but if he would not have said financial advisor, what would you have said?
Well, actually, that is certainly an important topic. I think Lance's point about diversity of the group is important. There are several different people that bring different ideas and issues to the table. If you've not been personally experienced a situation where a loved one, a friend, whatever, has been struggling with senior issues, the average person probably isn't aware of all those challenges. Certainly one of the challenges is financial, and it's we're no longer getting the pensions, we're no longer getting some of the resources that the prior generation had. So part of the issue is pride is involved. People are afraid to ask for help. Part of the issue is they just simply don't even recognize that resources are available to them in the community. So part of the Advocacy Council even is to just kind of help promote the education and awareness of those issues.
But now that you're on the board of Helping Seniors and you're a member of the Advocacy Council, but you also are a financial advisor planner, what is some of the importance that you would attach to any type of survey that we did or information sharing process that we did with the general public at large as to the importance of people starting earlier to recognize that they have to start in their 20s and 30s to put the plan in place for later? Can you talk about that?
Oh, yeah, that's absolutely huge. Certainly we can show examples of different outcomes where someone started much earlier than someone else. Maybe they really put about the same amount away, but the one who started earlier ended up tremendously further ahead than the person who started later because of the value of compounding. So the importance of getting that education at a young age, understanding to pay yourself first, understanding to put money away early, and then just consistently do that is huge. Unfortunately, that isn't taught in schools. It isn't something that is common practice where we are now because our parents, our grandparents had the pension to rely on. They didn't have to make sure they fund a 401k right, or make sure they fund an IRA or even save.
I think that's something that as the Advocacy Council starts into their 2016 work, that they'll have to understand that we need, as a result of the first survey, we found that 17% of the responders believed that information, and another 17% believed that financial matters were the two most significant senior challenges. Mm-hmm. And that's really important. And so I think that is something that we plan to follow on a survey this year, and that is something we will need to address in a survey. But Lance hit on something, and we just had a recent caller to Helping Seniors. This was a 90-year-old woman. Mm. She needed to get to the doctor. And she called an organization in our community that gets federal and state funding to provide transportation. And the people at the transportation place told the woman she had to come in and fill out paperwork. Mm. A woman said, "I don't drive, I don't have a car. How can I come in? Can't you mail the paperwork to me?" "Oh no, we can't mail it to you." We got the phone call. Mm. I called Tallahassee. I talked to the Department of Transportation, and they said, "Joe, if that was one of our people that we were funding, and they told somebody that, they most likely would not continue with the funding." Said, "We don't fund that organization." So we're looking into it. That's one of the things that Helping Seniors does. It's sort of even the playing field program to make sure that people are treated fairly. Mm-hmm. And this is where information and education comes in, is so important. If we don't know about these problems, we can't resolve them. But that's not an exceptional call. We get calls like that all the time, which again points out to what both of you are saying about the need for information, that if we don't identify these needs, and too often when we talk about an aging plan, people mistakenly believe that we're talking simply aging issues. No, we're talking about the process of aging. if you want to age in place, just like you said, if people want to stay at home, you got to figure out what you can do here to get to here, to get to here, to get to here, to stay. Anyway, Beth?
An ounce of prevention is a pound of cure. That might be a trite old saying, but that's what it is. It's getting that education and understanding up front so that you don't have the problems later.
Yeah. Lance?
Well, there's no question that Helping Seniors of Brevard does a wonderful job in assisting seniors. But the bottom line, it seems to me, is there is no central source of information that would help seniors.
Yeah. Well, we have a lot of organizations in the community that do the same thing, but people just need to know about it.
That's really it.
Yeah.
It's knowing what resources are out there. We have some wonderful organizations in this community.
People really don't know. They don't know where to go. They don't know what organization is appropriate to help them with a particular issue. And it seems to me that as part of a county aging plan, that's something that needs to be put in place.
Yeah, I don't think it's enough that the county commissioners would think that simply 211 Brevard is going to do everything that needs to be done, because we're talking a very depth-wise type system. It's not just giving somebody a phone number. I did a show with Lance recently on Shine, and we talked about how the Shine counselors often pick up on other needs of people. So this takes it a step further on an aging plan. An aging plan is something is going to advocate on having a community that is friendly to aging. The Department of Elder Affairs started a program called Elder Friendly Communities in 2000 in Florida, 16 years. We do a beautiful job of talking about it. It's nice to say it has, we're both laughing, it has a beautiful ring to it.
Oh, it does.
But aging is more than 8-foot wide sidewalks illuminated by fluorescent lights at 11 o'clock at night. When somebody told me about that, I said, I don't want to go out and walk at 11 o'clock at night under a fluorescent light on a sidewalk. I'm ready to go to bed. We tend to forget, or we try to make everything fit one situation. It doesn't work. And, what would both of you independently think about what you each have taken away from being on the Advocacy Council and participating in the survey, and what we've sort of gleaned from a survey? I'll ask you first, Beth, this time instead of Lance.
Going back to that comment about the diversity, just the number of different types of needs. Some are going to be appropriate for most people, but some issues are just things that the average person would never have thought of. So bringing those to light and bringing solutions along with it, not just saying, hey, there's a problem. It's, these are challenges, and here are some ideas about how to make change.
Yeah. Lance?
Well, Joe, when you read the written comments that people made on the survey that was done by the Advocacy Council, you realize that what Beth just said is true. People have, as their first priority, very different concerns. And this was a small survey done with just a couple of hundred people. It seems to me that we need a much larger scale survey done within the county to identify those needs in what I'll call, Joe, with apologies to you and the rest of the Advocacy Council, a statistically valid sample, much larger than that. I mean, if we have over 250,000 seniors,
right.
The 1% that we were able to contact through the Advocacy Council isn't enough. It's not enough to give us the depth of information that we need to really do the proper planning. The problems and issues that people identified are extremely varied. And clearly not all of them can be addressed at the same time. The need for information is certainly one matter, one priority that needs to be attended to. But so is the problem of transportation. So is the problem of isolation and loneliness that many feel. I understand that some of the people that call Shine keep us on the phone because they are lonely, because we are the person they talk to. But until I saw the survey, I didn't realize how significant an issue this really is for many seniors. Quite a few in that limited survey express loneliness, fear, isolation. None of these are good. None of these are good for aging.
Oh, and if 400 people, 400 plus people are willing to say that, the old saying, where there's smoke, there's fire.
Oh, for sure.
Should be pointing out to our commissioners that this is a problem that does not need to be kicked down the road any further. We need to do something now to address these issues. I'm not saying that we need to go out and put a $10 million plan in place. I'm saying that, say, perhaps the Housing and Human Services part of the Brevard County government should probably take the issuance of a countywide survey under their purview so that it gets more attention. And we reach out through Channel 13, through all the television media, through the churches, and through Florida Today, the newspaper. If we do this thing the right way, we can get very, very good information. This is not the type of thing as you get 100 people in a room and you put tape pieces of paper around the room and everybody has a hot idea they think about. This is a very short survey that people should really think about in the confines of their home, because, you know, failure to recognize that we've got some severe problems is going to make the resolution of it not only more costly in the future, it's going to hurt people. And that's a big concern that I have. Would either one of you want to make a comment on what I'm saying?
Well, I couldn't agree more that a larger scale survey probably should be conducted by the county or under the jurisdiction of the county or subcontracted by the county. But I think it's important to recognize also that when we're talking about addressing seniors' needs, we are not necessarily saying that the Brevard County government is in a position to address all of them. Rather, they can encourage other not-for-profits. They can coordinate. They can serve a role of coordinating the addressing of these various issues. So we're not talking about initially the need for lots of county money, but what we are talking about is the county taking the initiative to help see that these are addressed, building a team with other organizations and getting started.
Just putting some words into action, identifying the most critical issues, starting to figure out what resources already exist that could be meeting those needs, and then educating the public about those resources. What do you think?
You know, and we've talked about the ability of individual organizations to build endowments to do things to help people. One of the biggest problems we've had in any elder care system is the ability to develop the wherewithal to financially help people with some problems. Some of the churches have organizations like the St. Vincent de Paul where they can pay a little bit of money out, and the county can help maybe with electrical bills that are 2 months in arrears. But beyond that, there's there's not really a whole lot. And we don't have a lot of time to talk about it today, but I picked up something. Have you all, there's a program, I forget, Prevent, it's a program where if a person is in danger of losing their home, if they've lost their job through no reason of their own, there's a program, a federal program that will pay their mortgage payment for up to a year and not even require them to be reimbursed for it. Either one of you remember that? It's true. I just found about it. We're going to do a TV show on it.
Great.
It's Project Prevent Disaster, or that's what it is, Prevent Disaster. And we have a local attorney, Jonathan Lack, that is employed by the state, and so it doesn't cost the people any money, and they will pay up to $18,000 for a year's total for somebody that lost her job, is in danger of losing her home, and it's something that came out. It's one of the good things about the Affordable Health Care.
Yeah, that's great.
That's how
I
it
was
came
not
out.
aware of that.
That's a great program. I was not aware of.
Well, this is the reason we want to do television shows, because invariably people watching the shows will pick up on things that the three of us have talked about and say, gee, I wonder if they know an answer to this question. Mm-hmm. And you said it on the Shine show I did with you. Shine counselors get a lot of questions. We get a lot of questions. We get questions where we refer. I get people that I have referred to Shine. I get people I referred to your organization. I've referred them to lawyers. Mm-hmm. I'm not qualified to take that part of the question. I am qualified to refer them to somebody that knows a lot more than I do about it.
We refer all the time.
We do too.
To resources.
We're almost out of time. What would be your last comment today on?
Just the importance of getting involved, the importance of recognizing that there are people out there that are struggling, and how can you plug in and how can you help?
Okay, Lance?
I would echo that. There are people in this county that are facing severe challenges that they don't know how to solve, how to address. And the more involved that the population and the Advocacy Council gets, the better the likelihood that these challenges can be addressed.
I'm Joe Steckler. Thank you for joining our program today. I'd like to remind you that our senior information line is available to you at 321-473-7770. There you can get help and direction that could be helpful for your specific situation or circumstances. The work of helping seniors is very important, but we can't do it alone. That is why our sponsors here in Brevard County are so important. I'd like to thank our many area sponsors, businesses and medical providers who support the mission of helping seniors that help us carry the cost of our media efforts. If you'd like to join us either as a business partner or simply donate as an individual, we would welcome your call at 321-473-7770. You are always welcome to visit our website at www.helpingseniorsofbrevard.org. Thanks so much for your help. It does make a difference.